Secret Invasion final episode. Home begins with Fury calling his Skrull wife, Priscilla or Vara, one final time to resolve any issues that arose during their prior quarrel. He needs to make peace with his sweetheart before heading on his upcoming assignment, which will involve a direct confrontation with Gravik, since it very well could be his last. Vara begs Fury not to endanger his life, knowing full well how pointless it would be. Vara hangs up after Fury simply commands her to take care of herself. Fury quickly dispatches the guards stationed outside of New Skrullos after diverting their attention with a fake automobile. Fury explores the Skrull colony and discovers that it is deserted. He also finds the room where Gravik and his allies slaughtered the operatives who opposed him. Due to the Skrull's inherent tolerance to radiation, New Skrullos was founded in the abandoned nuclear power plant. However, as Fury spends more time inside the colony, his health begins to deteriorate. Fury continues on inside and eventually finds Gravik waiting for him in the chamber where Dr. Rosa Dalton's contraption was being used to conduct the Super Skrull experiment. An incensed Gravik lashes out at Fury for using him and the other Skrulls to advance humanity's cause while blatantly disregarding his obligation to provide the displaced Skrull refugees with a new home planet. Gravik serves as a memory of the period when he was Fury's youngest covert Skrull operator and was given orders to kill someone. Gravik now wears the victim's face as a reminder of how he devastated someone's family in order to impress Fury, who was an idol to him and several other Skrull operatives. Due to Fury's betrayal, Gravik was driven down a deadly path that has since persistently burned both humans and Skrulls. Gravik carried the shame and sorrow of taking lives because he did it on Fury's orders for the eventual benefit of the Skrulls. Fury must take decisive action against Gravik because of the stakes involved in doing otherwise, something he is also aware of. However, Rodiazrava does her best to mislead POTUS by claiming that the Skrull-Russian alliance poses a terrible threat to the country's security and that prompt, decisive action is required. Skrull disregarded an admiral's thoughts on the likelihood that the attack was orchestrated. As Russian tanks assemble across the borders of Finland and Ukraine, Rhodes shows the president's satellite footage of the situation. Rhodes practically begs Ritson to launch an airstrike on Russia for using such techniques, asking him to view them as the country's major forms of aggression. Rhodes' desperation has gotten so bad that he has even written the president's speech in advance. Before Rhodes can highlight more of these warning signs, Sonya Falsworth calls and informs him that Fury is on his way to attack the president and is finally losing his mental capacity, so they urgently need to move the POTUS to the clinic's upper floors. Every single operator is killed by an unknown assailant as Rhodes and the rest of the security team hurry to take Ritson to the highest level, all but Rhodes. At New Skrullos, Fury confesses to having neglected his obligations to Skrull in the past and says he now feels guilty for Gravik, the Skrull he had taken advantage of years earlier. In exchange for the harvest that he has brought with him, Fury orders Gravik to leave the planet with the surviving Skrull people. Gravik checks the harvest vial to ensure its purity as Fury presents it to him, and it is revealed that it contains DNA samples from nearly every superhero in the gallery. Gravik decides to use the harvest on himself while Fury is still within the machine, as Fury's condition continues to deteriorate. With the combined force of Carol Danvers, the Hulk, Cull Obsidian, Proxima Midnight, Mantis, Korg, and many other powerhouses, Gravik emerges as the strongest version of Super Skrull and begins thrashing Fury to let out his rage. The switcheroo is soon discovered as, on the other side of the world, Sonya and the real Nick Fury corner Skrull Rhodes in front of President Ritson, shocking the man out of his wits as Fury matches his strength and sends him flying across the room. Gravik was all along playing Fury in front of Jaya, and as a result of Gravik's conceit and haughtiness, Jaya now possesses the same abilities as Gravik, as Jaya is ordered to pursue retribution against her former colleague, who is accountable for the murders of both her parents. A protracted conflict between the two starts. President Ritson is perplexed in London as Fury and Sonya attempt to explain Skrull Rhodes' trick to him and persuade him to halt the airstrike. Momentarily, there is a feeling of mistrust, but it quickly dissipates as Rava disarms Sonya to take down Fury. However, Rava ends up taking a headshot herself, and in her final second, her body transforms back into a Skrull. Ritson takes little time in calling off the strike and getting ready for a public statement after witnessing the seriousness of the Skrull invasion firsthand. When Gravik arrives in New Skrullos, Jaya uses Captain Marvel's energy blast to finally eliminate him while also saving all the important people, including Agent Ross and the real Colonel James Rhodes. Ritson delivers a concise yet ferocious speech to the public on the Skrull invasion, signaling the start of the United States of America's aggressive anti-alien campaign in addition to the hunt for all Skrulls. A hit squad is assembled as an urgent response and begins butchering the Skrull suspects. In addition to some successful takedowns, some humans are also slain in the process, and the genuine Prime Minister of the United Kingdom is revealed to have perished as a result. From this point on, the Skrull state resembles how the X-Men were treated unfairly in comic books, and unlike the Talos Fury relationship, they agree to do away with emotional complexities from from the start, as service in exchange for service will be the only complexity they are willing to be concerned with. Sonya Falsworth visits Jaya and asks for her help in exchange for assistance against the Skrulls' struggle against Ritzen's manhunt. Fury pays Priscilla a final parting visit before heading back to the SABER facility to bolster Earth's aerospace defenses and look for a solution to the Skrull problem. Fury shares his dissatisfaction with the method he took with the Skrull problem, which made an already terrible situation worse, after calling President Ritzen. Ritzen responds by mocking him and saying that if Fury is really so worried about the Skrulls, he should remove them from the world. In the end, Fury sort of succeeds in doing so when Priscilla shows up to bid her husband farewell, and Fury asks if he can take her along. According to Fury, Vara must act as a mediator because the Kree and Skrulls have reached an agreement on a peace pact. Vara ultimately gives up her human identity as Priscilla Davis and becomes her Skrull form, a green reptile, before Fury kisses her. A journey that started with putting their marriage to the test ended with it being repaired in a fresh way.